Now, what are we watching out for in the Indian markets? We have our research team joining in with us for the trade setups to watch out for in terms of the F&O front, as well as what are the stocks that we are keeping an eye out on. So first up, Vivek, coming to you. Good morning. How is the market queue looking like? What are we watching out for this morning in trade?
Well, good morning, Winnie. Quite a lot happened over the weekend, and in fact, the Friday close, both Indian markets as well as the kind of handover we received is extremely positive. Just like the Indian markets, even the US markets, it was a winning week as far as Wall Street was concerned. Dow Jones continued to post a record close even on Friday markets. Talking about the crude oil prices and something that we track quite closely, crude ended lower on Friday. Brent futures now hovering around the $74.5 a barrel mark, while WTI futures closer to the $72 a barrel mark. So that continues to remain a tailwind. Now coming to the Indian markets and how they fared on Friday. Remember, Indian markets saw a sharp rally on Friday. Quite a lot of cues actually worked in favor of the Indian markets on Friday. Number one, the metal sector, auto sector was something that did very well. Remember, on Friday, you also saw passive ETF buying on the back of the FTSE rebalance. So that particular flows was close to $1 billion, and that aided the rally, especially in the second half of the trading session. The Nifty Bank, that was one particular sector of the market that continued to outperform for the second week in running. And also, when you're talking about what didn't do so well, it was actually the defensives that saw quite a bit of selling pressure or profit booking. So pharma and IT was something that were top sectoral laggards in the week gone by. Asian markets, barring Japan, which is closed, indicating a positive start. GIFT Nifty 2 indicating positive start for our own markets today.
Thanks so much for that, Vivek. But let's move on, and Vamakshi is also with us to tell us which are the stocks to watch out for in trade today. Vamakshi, good morning.
Well, good morning, Winnie. Let me first start off with HDFC Bank. The company's board, the company's subsidiary, HDB Financial Services Board, has actually approved plans for an IPO. The IPO is expected to include a fresh issue worth 2,500 crores and an OFS by the existing shareholders. Mankind Fiber is the next one that I'm watching out for. They are looking to raise up to 10,000 crores via NCDs and commercial papers on private placement basis. BHEL has received a notification of order worth almost 6,100 crores from NTPC, and this is for 800 megawatt thermal power project. Tata Steel has gone ahead and commissioned India's largest blast furnace at Kalinganagar, Odisha, with an investment of almost 27,000 crores. The crude steel capacity stands expanded from 3 MTPA to 8 MTPA. ONGC is the next stock that I'm watching out for. They've gone ahead and signed a non-associated gas deal in Azeri, Chirag, Deepwater, Gunashli, that is ACG, which is in Azerbaijan. The non-associated natural gas resources of ACG are believed to be very significant, with up to nearly 4 TCF in place. Vodafone Idea has concluded a mega $3.6 billion or 30,000 crore deal with 3 global network partners, Nokia, Ericsson, as well as Samsung, and this is for supply of network equipment over the period of 3 years, and this in turn marks the company's first step towards the rollout of the company's capex plan. Glenmark Pharma, US FDA, has issued Form 483 with 0 observations for its Aurangabad facility, while Aarti Drugs has received 7 observations for Form 483. Lastly, let's watch out for HFCL. They've signed a strategic partnership with GASI to develop and supply critical subsystems for advanced unmanned aircraft systems.
Thank you so much for that, Vamakshi. But lastly, let's go across to Nigel and watch out for what is happening in the world of F&O, Nigel.
Well, morning, Vinny, and good to see you on Power Breakfast. Looking forward to interacting with you more on this show, one of my most special shows.
Thank you so much, Nigel, for that. But F&O, is that looking exciting this morning?
Well, it's looking very, very exciting. The Nifty Bank has come back into play in the last couple of weeks or so. And we had made this point, on Bazaar itself, that the Nifty Bank has underperformed for the last 1 year or so, but it has to lead the way from here on. And the last 1 month or so, the Nifty Bank, as that graphic plate will tell you, well, it's definitely been a rank outperformer. So the party is on, the trend is up, but there are a few signs that are calling for a bit of cautiousness, and some of them should come up for you on the screen. The Nifty ended sharply higher in Friday's trading session. That was backed by a FTSE rebalance as well. That's why you saw the spurt in the final hour of trade, which explains why we had very big gross buy numbers from the FIs as well as the net buy numbers. But when the Nifty moves up and the VIX moves up, that's a bit of a cautious sign because normally they have an inverse relation. Point number 2, the PCR has moved to around 1.5. That's the upper end of the range. Normally at around 1.6 odd, we do see some cooling off. Point number 3, the FIs are long, but they net long very, very aggressively. And sometimes I get a little bit of an, not a very, very great feeling. When you see the long addition, a single session at around 1 lakh contracts, They covered some shorts as well. And now the net long positioning is at around 3.5 lakh contracts. So gross positioning more than 5 lakh contracts odd. So that's a bit of an uncomfortable sign for me. And the clients as well, they are net short and they are the ones that have been getting it right. So just keep that in mind. Well, what about the levels to track? As I said, the trend is up till the Nifty holds on to the near-term support level of around 25,200, which is the 20 DMA. But there are some cautious markers out there, so keep an eye out on that. The stock that I'll track is one that's come out of the F&O ban, Bidla Soft. Keep that one on your radar. Back to you.
Thank you so much for that, Nigel. Surely keeping an eye out on the trade setup there in India for all the stocks and what's happening in the world of F&O. So keep an eye on that. But